What's up guys, Jordan here from Show Me Vegas. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, you know, last year I made a video ranking the 17 different hotels I stayed at in Las Vegas in 2024. But this year, I'm not gonna do that.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Only because this year, it was 20. Last night, I stayed here.
Stayed here.
Stayed here.
I am staying here.
This is Durango, the Four Queens, South Point Casino Royale. All checked in, all checked in, all checked in, all checked in, all checked in to the Flamingo, and tonight I'm staying here at Fremont Hotel and Casino, and welcome to a very unlikely place. That's right, in 2025, I stayed in 20 different Las Vegas hotels across 23 nights and 6 different trips. Yeah, it was a whirlwind to say the least, but that's what it's like covering Las Vegas from the tourist point of view. So in this video, I'm going to rank the 20 hotels I stayed at in 2025 from the worst all the way up to the best. I'm also going to give you, in my opinion, the #1 reason you might want to stay at each of these hotels and the #1 reason you might not. All right. Let's get into it. Just like last year, I found that ranking hotels from a wide range of price points can be a fool's errand. I mean, how are you supposed to make a useful comparison between a 5-star hotel and a hotel that has a 1.6 rating on Yelp?
And I have looked at this thing like 100 different ways.
I thought about ranking them based on overall quality. I thought about ranking them based on value.
98 others, and
what I eventually settled on was this. I'm going to rank these as if they were all free and put them in order of my preference. I should probably tell you that these rooms weren't free, by the way. I paid for them. If you're new to the channel, just know that unlike a lot of content on social media, if I show a hotel stay, eat a meal, or showcase an attraction, I paid them, not the other way around. Alright, somebody has to be dead last, but in this case, it was a really easy decision. OYO Las Vegas was bad. Like really bad. And I'm not just talking about the worst hotel I've ever stayed in Las Vegas, the worst hotel room I've ever seen anywhere. Here's why. Alright, full disclosure, this is the only hotel on the list where I didn't actually spend the night. If you watched the video, you might remember the mattress and the pillows were next level gross. Aside from the bed, the room actually could have been worse, but the hotel in general was the most down on your luck feeling I've ever experienced anywhere. I said I was going to give you one reason to stay and one reason not to stay at all the hotels on this list, but this is, again, the exception. Take my lead and don't stay there. There's not a single reason to. Alright, 20 hotels is a lot, so let's do these in pairs. Coming in 19 and 18 are a couple of neighbors, not just on this list, but on Fremont Street. Number 19 was the Four Queens, and number 18, the Fremont Hotel and Casino. I kind of feel bad for these hotels coming in right after the OYO, but just know that neither one of them are bad per se. Despite sitting right across Fremont Street from each other, they are quite different. Even though they've recently renovated one of their hotel towers, the Four Queens is far rougher around the edges, especially in the casino. The #1 reason you should stay at the Four Queens? There's no resort fee and your all-in price is going to be a few bucks cheaper than most of the options downtown. The top reason not to? Risk of lung cancer. I kid, of course, but it is smoky with a capital S in that casino. A reason to stay at the Fremont? The casino is pretty newly renovated and has a cleaner feel than any hotel downtown not named Circa. The biggest reason not to stay at the Fremont? The absolutely tiny rooms probably deliver the worst dollar to square foot ratio on Fremont Street. Think cruise ship cabin. Numbers 17 and 16. Number 17 is the one hotel on this list for which I've yet to make my video. Stay tuned for that next week. It's the Link. Number 16 is one hotel I feel kind of bad about rating this lowly because it's in the midst of a transformation. They're not done yet and it's sure to move up. Number 16 is the Rio. The Link has a checkered history and it's one of the lowest end properties on the Strip. That said, it definitely has its place. Keep an eye out for my video on my stay there, which will be out next week. In the meantime, I'll tell you that the perfect location is the #1 reason to stay at the Link. The #1 reason not to? It has a tendency to feel a bit like a frat house. Like I said, it's a party hotel. My stay at the Rio was perfectly pleasant, and I did enjoy my newly renovated suite in the Ipanema Tower. They're slowly reviving what had become a nearly dead property. One reason to stay? Value. The rates are commonly a steal, and the comps are impossibly easy to earn. One reason to skip it? The location isn't great. It's just close enough to the Strip to con you into thinking you're there, but just far enough away to cost you numerous Uber fares getting back and forth. Back downtown for the next two. Number 15 is a place you've probably seen all over social media because they love YouTubers and Instagrammers and TikTokers. But you know I'm not on their payroll or else they surely would have ranked higher than number 15. It's the Plaza. Number 14 is at the other end of Fremont Street and gave me the loudest hotel room I've ever experienced anywhere, and it's the El Cortez. These two downtown hotels probably could have been swapped out with numbers 13 and 12 if you prefer Fremont Street. Like with almost every hotel on this list not named Oyo, there's nothing particularly bad about them. Plaza has a fun vibe, a great steakhouse, and commonly offers some great deals, including an all-inclusive package during the summer the past 2 years. The best reason to stay? It's got a great vintage Las Vegas vibe. The number one reason I might stay away? The guest rooms themselves are nothing to write home about. They almost put off college dorm room vibes. Speaking of vintage vibes, perhaps no place in Vegas does that better than the El Cortez. It has seen a renaissance of sorts over the past 2 years and it looks better than ever. My stay was in one of the original 47 rooms and it was a cool experience. One reason you might stay away? For a Fremont Street property, the walkability is not great because it sits on Fremont East, a couple of blocks away from the rest of the Fremont Street action. I am getting all packed up for another Vegas trip. You know, when I'm moving from hotel to hotel like I do in Las Vegas, it has made me a lot more cognizant of luggage security. And that's why I'm thankful for the sponsor of today's video, Noble Travel. This is the Noble carry-on and I love this suitcase. Noble's hard shell design has eliminated what is the weakest point in traditional luggage, that's the zipper. In case you didn't know, zippered suitcases can be popped open with a pin, even if you have a traditional zipper lock on them. That means there's risk to your belongings. Anywhere from airport check-in lines to ride shares, behind the scenes with checked baggage, or even in your hotel room while you're not there. This suitcase gives me peace of mind. My Noble carry-on has a zipperless hardshell case with locks that snap shut like a safe, giving you peace of mind that your luggage is tamper resistant. What's more, it comes with a ton of cool intuitive features like a cup holder, a phone holder, a charging port, and my favorite feature, a locking laptop holder on the outside. Did I mention this thing also has the best wheels I've ever had on a suitcase? Noble Luggage could make a great gift for the holidays, and even though Christmas is already a couple days in the past, it's not too late. Heck, maybe you even return a couple of those Christmas gifts you got that you didn't want and check out Noble. There's a link in my description box down below or a QR code on the screen right now. Go check them out and remember, a zippered suitcase can be popped open with a pin, but Noble eliminates the zipper altogether. Travel smarter, travel safer, travel Noble. Just like the last pair, the next two have something in common, but this time it's that they're both off-strip. But that's about where the similarities end. Number 13 is Palace Station, and number 12 is the Westgate. My stay at Palace Station was pretty good, but not memorable. The room was above average and very clean, and the property offers good value with reasonable room rates and good drink specials. Where it lacked was in personality. There was nothing about the stay that left me feeling like I truly was in Las Vegas. That said, the top reason to stay at Palace Station for me is affordability relative to the Strip, and the one reason not to stay? The off-strip location is wonky to say the least, and you're going to want to get off property and visit the Strip a few times during your stay. My stay at Westgate was an overall pleasant experience, and I really did enjoy it. For me, the overall old-school vibe at the Westgate was a pro. And the biggest con? My room was pretty bare bones and not exactly sparkling clean. That can be a deal breaker for some people. They certainly could use an upgrade there. The next two hotels once again have something in common. This time it's affordability, but once again, that is where the similarities end. You're probably surprised to see Casino Royale ranked as highly as number 11 on this list, and quite frankly, so am I. But it's too late to change it now. Oh yeah, and number 10 is South Point. My room at Casino Royale was exactly what I expected. A no-frills budget hotel with a great location. And location is what really sets it apart. Not just the location of the casino itself, but the fact that you can be on the sidewalk at mid-strip in literal seconds from your room. That's why it ranks so highly on this list and is the one reason I would tell somebody it's worth giving a shot. The biggest con? Some people are going to be turned away by the small room in the smoky old-school casino. But that's kind of the entire point. As for my stay at South Point, I wanted to like it more than I did, but my room was a pretty big letdown, especially for the price I paid on a weekend. But in retrospect, it ranks in my top 10 here based on the sheer size, offerings, and value of the overall resort. The selection of things to eat, see, and do at South Point is enormous. One reason to avoid? The location, of course. It's pretty isolated, and you're gonna need to use their shuttle or otherwise take about a 15-minute Uber to get to the heart of the other Vegas action. Alright, I'm not even going to pretend like numbers 9 and 8 have anything in common because one of them is a budget option. It's the oldest hotel on the modern Las Vegas Strip and it's known as the Dirty Bird. The other one is a name that's synonymous with luxury in the hotel industry. Number 8 is the Flamingo and number 9, the Waldorf Astoria. Who would have thought after my first stay at Flamingo that I would ever have it on any type of top 10? But that highlights exactly how far it's come in the past couple of years. Caesars Entertainment has been pouring money into the Flamingo in anticipation of its 80th birthday next year. It's gone from a terrible dining destination to a great one that's set to add even more soon, and they're also going to be refreshing the lobby and casino floor. The best reason to stay at the Flamingo has always been its location, and the biggest drawback has always been the condition and possible cleanliness of the rooms. For me, it's become worth the risk in order to stay right in the heart of the action. The Waldorf Astoria, on the other hand, is about as opposite of the Flamingo as a hotel can get. My stay there was a bit disappointing for the price, but like I said at the beginning, this list is based on the premise that all these rooms are ranked as if they were free. The hotel is beautiful, it offers a great pool and a great cocktail lounge, and even though it doesn't have a casino, it's a great walkable location. The biggest pro is its luxury vibe, and the biggest con? It's probably not worth the cost. You could stay at Bellagio or Venetian for a similar price. Alright, let's get back to pairs with something in common. Number 7 and 6 both have MGM in the name, but technically they're separate properties, and you would believe that if you've ever walked between the two. Number 7 is the Signature at the MGM Grand, and number 6 is the MGM Grand. I really enjoyed the off-strip feel of the Signature while still having access to the MGM Grand through an indoor, albeit lengthy, walk. The rooms are designed for longer stays, so even though it's a bit outdated, I loved my spacious room with a kitchenette and a balcony with a view of the Strip. For me, the biggest reason to stay at the Signature is its laid-back, extended stay vibe. The biggest con? That walk to the Strip. It's a hike. As for the MGM Grand, I mentioned in that video that I have a soft spot for it because it was my first Vegas stay back in 2009, and that probably bumped it up about 3 or 4 spots on this list. But they just finished a room remodel and the property almost feels new. The best reason to stay at the MGM Grand for me is that it is such a complete property. The biggest drawback? Kind of one and the same. A property as complete as this is massive, and a lot of people don't like the sheer size. Number 5 on the list is a hotel that took me far too long to finally visit, and one that I'm really glad I did. It's Paris, Las Vegas. I loved my stay at Paris, which lucky for me was 2 nights, not just 1. I love the Parisian vibe and the location, and I think the hotel just has so much to offer. The biggest pro, in my opinion, is the theme. The whimsical Parisian theme is so well done, and it truly does set the hotel apart, especially in this era of corporate luxury. The biggest con, in my opinion, is that the rooms really do need a refresh. They're looking a bit rough around the edges. It might surprise you to find an off-strip property firmly inside my top 5, but it's a hotel that absolutely belongs. Durango Casino and Resort is a phenomenal property from top to bottom, and it's only going to get better in 2026 with a huge expansion. That's why it checks in at number 4. I knew I was going to like Durango, but I wasn't prepared for just how much. It's an absolutely gorgeous hotel with luxurious rooms, great dining, a great casino floor, and a great pool. As much as I loved the casino, the sportsbook, and the dining lineup, my biggest pro was actually the room. It was every bit as nice and maybe nicer than any other hotel room I stayed in 2025. It was that good. The biggest con, for me being off-strip and isolated, it's expensive. Like really expensive. It might be better as a day trip than a place to actually stay. Number 3 on my list is bound to be controversial because people tend to either love it or hate it. Put me firmly in the love it category. Fontainebleau is a great hotel with great rooms, a great pool, and a great dining lineup. So what's not to like? Well, for one, the location. My video from my last Fontainebleau stay is only a few weeks old, so go check that out if you want the entire lowdown, but let's just say I love Fontainebleau, which is almost a controversial thing to say because so many people hate on it. I think it's gorgeous and I love that it's pretty easy to earn comps at, especially for a luxury hotel. My biggest pro is the luxury vibe, and my biggest con, of course, it's that location. Yes, you can walk there if you really want, but you also probably don't really want to. Fontainebleau would thrive with a better location. As it is, it's far from thriving. Number 2 is the only hotel within a hotel that I stayed at in 2025, and it's a great one. It also helps that I'm a big fan of the hotel it calls home. It's the Reserve at Park MGM, or as it was known when I stayed there, Nomad. I had a great stay at Nomad, and it didn't hurt that I booked a suite instead of a standard room. I loved the suite, and I almost felt like I was staying in a luxury apartment rather than a hotel. I love the smoke-free atmosphere at Park MGM, and I'm also a pretty big fan of the South Strip location, right next to the park and T-Mobile Arena. The biggest pro, in my opinion, is that they pull off the hotel within a hotel so well. It really does make you feel like a guest in an exclusive hotel with access to something most people on the property don't have. The biggest con, in my opinion, is that I don't think by and large there's very much value. The cost is up there with the other luxury hotels in the MGM portfolio, and those hotels really offer a more luxurious experience, top to bottom. Down to number 1, the top hotel I stayed at in Las Vegas in 2025. More than a quarter century after it opened, it's still as relevant as ever. In fact, it's almost impossible for you to have been to Las Vegas more than once and not set foot inside. It's Bellagio, Las Vegas. I understand the Bellagio isn't as nice as it once was, especially relative to its peers in the luxury hotel market, but it is still a highly sought after and perfectly located hotel with a cool, quintessential Vegas feel. The fountain show is iconic, the conservatory just as much so, and the fit and finish of the casino floor, restaurants, and grounds is still top-notch. The biggest reason to stay? I think this is the bucket list hotel for any Vegas enthusiast. If you visit Vegas frequently, you have to be able to say you've stayed at least once. The biggest con? Aside from the high cost, the Bellagio's popularity lends to an extremely crowded property. I can't say rat race loudly enough. It's like a zoo most of the time. So there they are, the 20 hotels I stayed at in Las Vegas in 2025, ranked from worst to first. Keep in mind, once again, this is not a ranking of my top 20 hotels in Las Vegas. It's merely a ranking of the hotels I stayed at. How many hotels will I stay at in 2026? That remains to be seen. There's only one way to find out. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hey, also, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. There's plenty more to come in the new year, and I can't wait to get started. I'll see you in that next video because there's always more for us to show you on Show Me Vegas. Bye, guys.